Hey guys, welcome to the newest episode of Blu-ray Tuesday with Terrell. Alright guys, it's episode 90! Could y'all believe it? We 10 episodes away from 100. And I don't know, it's crazy. 90 episodes of me. Thank you guys for watching my crazy ass every week. I just want to shout that out. Shout out everybody that comments, likes, all that good stuff. I want to do that at the top of the episode because I want to say thank you because 90 episodes of this. And I don't know if I will keep doing this if y'all weren't watching. So thank you. So, it's Scream Day, as you guys can see, and I'm excited. Mind you, it was a shitty day, y'all. Like a shitty day, like literally. At work, literally a shitty day. So there was a customer that came in with a dog, right? Bitch, little prissy ass dog, right? So, they're shopping around, looking through the aisles, and then a coworker calls in the intercom saying that a dog shit. So we go over there to go see, gotta go clean this shit up because that's nasty. And then the girl with her dog was like a little way down the aisle. And then I guess someone asked her, oh, hey, was that your dog? Because bitch, that's rude. And the woman gonna say, that wasn't my dog. But she said it with an accent. I think she tried to act like she didn't speak English. It's convenient when they act like they don't speak English in different circumstances and situations. But bitch, she like, that wasn't my dog. And bitch, that's the only dog in the damn store. And that shit stank. It was a big old shit coming out of that little prissy dog. It was nasty. Gross. I'm glad I didn't have to clean it because I don't get paid enough. But bitch, that was gross. I just want to say it was a shitty day. Nasty. Anyways, but today was cool because I got home and we got Blu-rays. Let's get into it. So it's Blu-ray Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. And after last week, we had not much that came out. We're gonna get into some Blu-rays. So first up, I want to talk about is Ari Aster's newest film, Beau is Afraid. All right. I ain't never seen this. I heard it was boring. I heard it was like slow. I heard some people said that they really liked it. I liked Midsommar and Hereditary. Those were great. So that's why I really wanted to watch this one. Plus, I wanted to get it with a slipcover. It's from Ep90, Lionsgate. I collect all of their movies. They're probably gonna put out something exclusive. I realized Ep90 puts out fucking like Midsommar came out with a cool exclusive on their like website. So I'm sure they're gonna probably do something with this. But is it worth it? I don't know. Have y'all watched it? Let me know. Cause I ain't seen this. It only has one bonus feature and it says Finally Home, Making Beau is Afraid featurette. So I don't know what's going on with Mr. Joaquin Phoenix. I like him in The Joker. That movie is amazing. But I don't know what's going on. It's rated R for strong, violent content. So I'm assuming there's a lot of shit happening in this, I would hope. Sexual content, graphic nudity, so there must be some dicks. But I don't know. It says it's a masterwork. I ain't seen it yet, but I know it's long, so I gotta be in the right headspace to watch this. Why all these movies gotta be 3 hours all the damn time? I don't know. But Beau is afraid. All right, and Terrell's afraid to watch. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. All right, next up is a movie that I did miss in theaters, and I'm highly upset that I did, bitch. Let me tell you. And it is Sisu. Now, this is a fucking movie, y'all. This movie is probably one of my favorite action movies of the motherfucking year. Up there with John Wick 4. I'm about to see Mission Impossible later, and I'll see where that lands. But bitch, this was brutal. I loved it. I love he didn't speak. He just fucked bitches up. So, Sisu, this is the Best Buy exclusive steelbook. I almost got the regular 4K because, I don't really get in steelbooks like that. Only ones I like. But I love this because it has a clear slip cover with the knife. This happens at the beginning of the movie. It's in the trailer, so I ain't spoiling shit. But anyways, when he stabbed that nigga right in the face, crazy. All right, so it's the 4K edition. It comes with the Blu-ray and the digital copy. This one has some bonus features, some featurettes and visual effects shit. That's pretty much it on this, it looks like. Anyways, this movie's great. I don't give a fuck. I love this edition, this cover. Best Buy, if you guys have Blu-rays in your Best Buy, you can pick this up in store. Got pre-order and they actually sent it. It looks in good condition too. They put it in a nice box this time. Maybe I complained so much they saw my name when I was ordering it, so make sure we package this right. Because they did. Sisu, y'all gotta watch it. So this movie's crazy. It's about some, I'm not really into war shit. I don't know. There's these like people that are from the war or some shit, World War II. That's what it was. And this man found some gold and they were trying to kill him for this gold, but he was like, you ain't taking my gold. So he was fucking these people up. There was these women that helped him. Well, he helped them first because they were just there to get bad. Oh, the R word. Sorry, cut that. Frogs. Sisu, great movie, lots of action. When he was getting holes in his body, he was just sewing it up. Like my finger. When I got my finger cut open, like at work a few weeks ago, and I had to get some fucking stitches, bitch, my brother, when he saw it, he was like, oh, all you have to do is get some glue and some dirt and just glue it up, like Sisu. Because that's the reason I watched it. I went to his house, and he played the movie. It was so good, and I was just entrapped in this movie. This movie is excellent, like 5 stars, bitch. Go watch it. Check it out and get your life. Now, for the movie of the hour, or the 30 minutes of however long this episode gonna be, is Scream 6. So y'all know, bitch, I had to get every edition I could get. The only edition I didn't get is the regular Blu-ray and the DVD, because bitch, who cares? I got the 4K, Isn't this beautiful? So I got the Scream 6 4K. So this comes with just the 4K and the digital code. That's why I contemplate getting the Blu-ray just to have every edition like I did with all the other Scream movies. Like I have a whole shelf of hella Scream copies. Like, bitch, I'm obsessed. Anyway, so Scream 6, bigger, bolder, and scarier. They went all out with this sequel. With the lackluster Scream 5, like, you know, I was not into Miss Samantha Carpenter, Miss Melissa Barrera, and I like how in this movie, I loved her. I was just living for this bitch. And they played off of that. Like, a lot of scenes like, oh, why don't people like me and all this shit. Bitch, that was life imitating art or art limited, well, however the saying goes. And Scream is known for that. But they incorporated that into the story. And bitch, they made her extremely likable because I liked her more than Jenna in this movie. Anyway, so you have the sisters back. They're in New York, you know, after the events of what happened a year prior. And I love how the opening scene opened up with Miss Samara weaving in that ugly yellow dress. You know she was the opening kill when she came into that production late. But yeah, she does that stupid thing. I guess they have that whole little talk about them, her being a teacher about horror films or some shit and how she knows all about horror, but her ass walked down the fucking alley. Bitch, you stupid. That's why she got sliced the fuck up. And that was crazy with that reveal. I ain't spoiling too much. Y'all should have seen this. This movie took forever to come out on Blu-ray. This movie came out in March. So if y'all ain't seen it, Paramount Plus. But, all right, so he gutted the fuck out of that bitch. And then it's revealed to be this Indian man. I forgot his name. I watched this movie so many times I forgot his name. What was his name? Anyways, so he goes home and basically he was plotting to kill Jenna Ortega because I guess he was friends with Mr. Ritchie, the killer from Scream 5. And what he wanted to do was he wanted to, you know, finish his story, finish his, killing the sisters. So apparently somebody, you know, one of these killers was 2-3 steps ahead and they fucked him up. And that's the opening of the thing. Like, oh, what about our movie? He's like, fuck the movies. Loved it. Great opening. I love the mask. This mask, this all beat up masks. I don't think masks really do that if they're like old, but bitch, I'm here for it. And then it opens up with them trying to come to terms with everything. Jenna Ortega took it differently. The bitch didn't want to cope. She wanted to party. I'm here for the party. And she was hanging out with the twins. The twin, Mindy got a new girlfriend. You got, what's his name, trying to get Jack Champion, one of the killers. I did not like him, girl. He tried to get him to hook up with this girl, but I think he was gay. But anyways, he did not like that Asian girl. He was like, oh, she's cute, but he didn't want to go talk to her. He's nervous. I don't know. He'd rather cut bitches up with a knife. Anyway, so you had that, and then Gail Weathers was back. I don't know, she wasn't in it as much, but when she was in it, she was in it. The one cringe part of this movie that makes me laugh every time I see it is the whole thing when they try to recreate the whole punch. Like, you know, when Sydney's like, Gail's like, I'll send you a copy in the first movie, and then she socks that bitch down. They recreate that in this one, where I think Jenna tries to punch her, or Sam does, and then she dips and dodge, very slow motion, very, like she rehearsed it like 20 times, and then she gets hit in the head with the other girl. Crazy. I don't know, that's the only part that would make me cringe and make me laugh. I don't know. This movie had a lot of kills, not a lot of kills, a lot of stabs. Not a lot of kills, not a lot of people died in this movie. And usually I wouldn't like that. But I love this movie, let me tell you. Lots of stabs. This made me believe that I could be, I could survive a stabbing, because in this movie, people got stabbed 28 times, and they lived. It's crazy. Like, everyone in this movie got stabbed. The one kill, Mindy's girlfriend, where they're on top of that little ledge, that fucked me up. That was a crazy one, because a lot of that was dumb, because her guts was coming out. I don't know how she was still able to breathe. And then when she crosses over the ladder and falls and hits her head, she got fucked up. I feel bad, because I actually like that bitch. They should let her go first. But I like this movie. So, Scream 6, where is this gonna go next? I don't know. Like, they haven't officially announced Scream 7, but I'm sure they're gonna do it. This movie made tons of money, like extreme amounts of money. And for them saying they ain't got enough money to pay Nev, I guess she wasn't needed, because this movie quadrupled the 5th movie. And digital copies sold like crazy. It was in theaters longer than it needed to be. The Blu-ray just came out today, so they're gonna make even more money on that. And look at the promo they did. And this sold like hotcakes. A lot of y'all had to order this and get this shit late. But Scream 6, y'all. This is, for me, one of the movies of the year, my favorite movies of the year. And I know I'm rambling about this a lot, but I love this movie. Scream 6, y'all. And let me know, did y'all see this? Did y'all like it? Oh, Hayden Panettiere is back. She was there to be a red herring. And yeah, so I didn't just get this copy. I also got the Steelbook, which y'all need to order, because bitch, once this sells out, this is gonna sell out. And I love this cover. This is one of my favorite covers in the early releasing of this movie, the teaser tape trailers and pictures. But anyways, this one is one of the scarier parts for me. When they're all in that fucking subway and they got all these people in costumes, you don't know who the killer could be, and that's scary. I've been on BART out here, and that's just scary enough without costumes. Could you imagine having costumes? Anyway, so there's over an hour of bonus features on this, a little bit more than the past releases that just dropped here. So there's a lot of special features. I don't know if there's any deleted scenes. Doesn't say anything deleted scenes. I was wondering if there would be. No, just a bunch of featurettes. But yeah, check this out. Hopefully it's some new stuff. Because you know, if you saw the early fan event, they showed like those stupid little, they aren't stupid, they were just kind of cringe. They were digging their hands, trying to feel what the hell's in the box. Okay, but yeah, hopefully there's some stuff about the movie. Scream 7 if it comes. Do I want Neve Campbell back? Of course! Everyone's talking about that, but if she don't, I mean, it is what it is because they established a lot with these characters. There's too many people to go through. I mean, she could come back, but I don't know what she's gonna do. I don't want her to die, so that's my fear. If she does come back, I don't want y'all to slice and dice her up. Well, maybe she'll live because people get stabbed, they live, but who knows? A lot of y'all want Stu back. I don't want that. And a lot of y'all people want Jill back. Y'all want Jill to come back for what? That bitch got shot in the head. Y'all is crazy. That's all I gotta say. Y'all is crazy. Y'all just want everyone to come back from the dead. Let's just get some new killers. All right, Scream 6. Killer reveal in this was all right. I mean, it is what it is. You see Scream 2, you get it. But Scream 6. I loved it. All right, guys, so let's get into some movies. But first, I want to talk about, let's go back to last week. So Thursday, while this was premiering, the last episode, episode 89, I was getting my stitches out, which I'm happy about. I'm glad they're out. It's healing good, so thank y'all for checking in. When I got there, I had to do a walk-in because I had that shit in longer than I needed to be. And they never called me for an appointment. And they set me an appointment like 3 weeks out. Bitch, this shit was supposed to take it out in 10 days. So she told me to do a walk-in when I had called. So I did a walk-in and I go in. There's this woman there and she was just ready to go. Mind you, I got to like around 3 something. They closed at 5. Maybe she was like she was ready to go. Anyway, so I get in. She already had a fucked up attitude. She told me that I couldn't do a walk-in, X, Y, Z, B, C. Bitch, no! The woman told me to come do a walk-in. So this is what I'm here for. I don't like coming to doctors, so I try not to be rude. I'm a nice person. But yeah, she tried it. I don't even like going to doctors, bitch. I don't want to be here just like you don't. Like, we're in the same boat. So, she had to call a nurse. She told me to go sit down. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set my fat ass down. And then she called a nurse. He came out looking all spooky. He looked scary as hell. I was scared. I said, you the one gonna take this shit out of my hand? Cause you. So anyways, he comes out, looks at the finger. He's like, oh, no, that could be done. Like, it should be done, bitch. It's gotta come out. So anyways, he has me sit down, fill out some paperwork. I fill out the paperwork. He come back like 10, 15 minutes later. He takes me to the backest room that he could find. Girl, I was scared. You gotta walk down all these things, gotta turn a corner. And I said, wait, are we going here? He said, yeah, keep going. I was like, oh my God, he's going to get me. Anyway, so he took me into this room far, far away, bitch. I was in Neverland. And then, he sat me down and said, I hope you could text with the other hand because you're going to be here a minute. I'm like, oh my God. So he sits me down. I put my hand in some water. So my hands are little mermaids. So I was just like, ooh, fish. It was fun. All right. And then he had to let the stitch soak. So he came back like 45 minutes later and then he said, oh, looks like it's ready. I'm like, I hope so, bitch. My shit's shriveled up. Anyway, so he sits me down and he had 3 stitches. So he looks at it. He's like, he was scaring me, you guys, because he didn't like he knew what he was doing. He had a nurse. He's skinny. He looked like, you know what's a Big Bang Theory? Sheldon, bitch. He was a Sheldon, ho. He looked just like Sheldon. He's like, well, you know. All right, so he goes in, he starts to try to cut it, and he's like, ooh, they're in there deep. He's like, yeah, bitch, nobody called me. That's why this shit it's healing over. So he was trying to dig for my stitches, bitch, and tell me why that shit hurt. I don't think it was supposed to hurt like that. He was digging. He kept looking at me. He was like, you okay? I'm like, are you okay? Do you know what you're doing? And then he was scuffing at me. He's like, ugh. I was like, that's what I asked him, are you okay? Because, bitch, he didn't know what he was doing. He's like, I'm sorry, it's just hard to get him. So he finally pulled him out, and I was like, oh God, thank God, get this man out of here. So he finally took him out. He put these 2 little strips over it and put some Bactration, whatever you call it. It's called Neosporin. He tried to use some terms with me. It's just Neosporin, which is what you put. Anyways, he puts a Bactration, and then he put that on and puts 2 little strips. I was like, what that gonna do? So he said, leave that on for 24 hours. Bitch, when I went to the next room, those shit flipped up. Bitch, why you give me some shit that don't stick? And my shit opened. I was like, oh my God, I had to wait in another office for 20 minutes for another doctor who came in looking scary too. He looked like Dr. Giggles, bitch. Fat and old. So he came in, sat down, talking about, do you need any time off from work? I wanted to say yes for y'all distressing me, but then I said, oh, I'm fine, I've been back to work. So he just gave me a little sheet. So I sat here for some bullshit. But then I did get a new Band-Aid because he put these little things that just flapped up. I couldn't let him sit down. He put that Bactration, and it was oily and lubed up. How the hell you gonna stick something on some lube? Anyway, so he gave me a little papers and I left. I was so happy. Moving on, I went to go sit my fat ass down at the movie theater and I went to go see Insidious, The Red Door. All right, or The Red Boar, because bitch, that shit was boring. Let me tell you, Insidious, I watched all 4 of these fucking movies in a row. I was so excited. The first 2 scared me, literally. The first one, I remember, I watched that with my boy Travis. His whole family, we went and we made a whole thing out of it. We all went to the bar after because we were all scared, bitch. The first one. And then the second one, I was all excited. And we got a whole drag queen killer. Love it. And then you got part 3, who takes place before the first 2, with the girl who got hit by a car. That scene was fucked up. And then you got part 4 that took place after part 3, but before part 1, and they wanted to shove Lin Shaye in your face. Like, enough of those wrinkles. Like, this bitch can't act. And I love her. Shout out to her. Anyway, so that movie was so boring. She had a long lost brother, grandkids or something. No, nieces. And then one of the bitches had a power too. Ugh, so boring. But we get part 5. So I will say I'm gonna rank these for y'all. For me, it goes 1, 2, 3, 5, then 4. Because bitch, 5, let me tell you. So let me tell you some things I love. I love that it took place after part 2. So I like the family, the Lambert family, they returned. So at the end of 2, the dad and the son, Dalton, they got their memories erased, just like the dad did when he was a kid. So that way they don't go back into the further and bring demons and shit back, right? So I guess that started a lot of struggles for them because they had this year of memories that are gone. So as they got older, things started changing. Like the mother, the man almost killed her. So obviously this woman doesn't want to be with you. Like I can't ride this dick to try to kill me. That's weird. Some people are into that though. All right, but we get into that. So they're separated at the beginning of the movie, and it opens up with the mother, the dad's mom. She dead. So they're at her funeral, and all the kids are there, and then Dalton is all grown up, and he's going to college. So I was like, oh cool, this is gonna be a good movie. No. So it's slow. Every fucking Insidious movie opens up with like a jump scare or something creepy. This one did not. And I realized why this is so slow. I did some research. Bitch, the person who wrote this, not just Lee Winnell, it was also written by Scott Teems. Teems, bitch. Do y'all know who that is? Scott Teems is a writer, screenplay, and worked on everyone's favorite movie remake of last year, Firestarter. Now it makes sense, bitch. Everything just came to, I was like, oh, light bulbs. So Mr. Firestarter himself bored it up. How you gonna bore up the fucking Insidious films? So mind you, okay, so the movie wasn't bad in a sense of like, oh, I get it. They tried to make an ending for this movie. They brought these characters back. I get it. Patrick Wilson did okay with his directional debut, or maybe it wasn't his debut, but he debuted the series. But it felt very Conjuring. Yes, it did. It felt very sinister. But that's kind of cool. Little side note. They're in talks, or they were in talks of merging those films, and it's so funny because I have Sinister, I always get mixed up sometimes with Insidious, but they want to merge those and do a crossover, like a Freddy vs. Jason shit, but it's Sinister mixed with Insidious. Ain't that crazy? But they are doing a spinoff with Mandy Moore. Y'all know Miss Candy, the song from the 90s when we were kids. Anyways, Mandy Moore is going to be in the spinoff of Insidious. I'm ready for that. But anyway, so Scott Teems, he came in to help write this story. He wanted to make it slow. So that's what they did. All the scares, there were some scares, there's some good jumpy scares, but they were all spread out. Like, why is it spread out so much? They brought in a new character, my girl, Chris. When he went to college, he met this girl, was his roommate. I guess Chris, you know, it could be a girl or a boy name, and I guess they got it mixed up, so he's rooming with Miss Chris. I love her with her braids. They brought in a black girl. They got some flavor, and I loved it. She was my favorite character in this whole movie. Loved her. I liked her personality, how she brought out the nerd in him to go out and do shit, and Mr. Dalton. And he was in art class. He's an art major, and he opened up his memories because he went to this art class with this bitchy teacher or whatnot. She's stupid. She made a boy try to rip up his artwork. So he ripped up this beautiful artwork of his grandmother who passed. And why would you do that? You ripped it up. Well, he's a good drawer. He can do it again. But anyway, so as they painted something from their mind, he had to go into like his deep memories, and it opened up a door, bitch. I don't know how that worked. I wish I could open up doors. I don't know. So I opened up this door, and he painted the door, bitch. I don't like this. This movie's stupid. He painted the door that opens up, and I guess that's how he got back into the further. He could astral project again, like when he was a child. So the whole movie is just about that, about him trying to go back, demons trying to come back to take over his body. And then the dad, he's struggling with stuff too with his dad. It's a daddy issues movie. It's about daddies and sons, because I guess his dad, he never knew his dad. He thought he just left him, but his dad apparently had powers too. Spoilers, y'all. If y'all haven't watched this, I'm so sorry. I'm just going through it. But anyways, his daddy had powers just like he did, and he finds out that his daddy killed himself to protect it, to end everything, so that way his son ain't got to go through it. But bitch, it didn't work. And you know, you got Lin Shaye that pops up in a YouTube video. You know they gotta add that bitch. I like her, but Girl, why? It's just cringe. Like, you throw her at the end of the movie talking about, I'll see you soon, because she in heaven. Because the bitch died in part 1, but she's spread out throughout 5 movies. How does that work? Did y'all like this movie? I know a lot of people said they thought it was fine, but for me, I think I over-excited myself. I was so ready. I loved the first 2 and how scary they were. I felt like this was so much build-up that it didn't build up to anything for me. It just fell flat. Does that make sense? It is what it is. I mean, I saw worse. Firestarter was worse. But yeah, let's get into some other movies, y'all. But before that, I want to talk about The Idol. Because y'all all has been telling me, when are you going to watch The Idol? Have y'all seen The Idol? Spotify gives you shit for The Idol. Has The Weeknd and Lily Rose Depp, Johnny Depp's daughter. I don't know much about this because I haven't seen it, but I know it's 5 episodes. I heard it was supposed to be 6, but they made it 5. I heard the mama Karens were complaining about shit. I guess a girl gets cum on her face, like y'all act like y'all ain't seen porn. So it's really weird to me. That ain't that bad. But I don't know. So I ain't seen it. I've been looking into it because a lot more, every day I see something about The Idol. So I'm gonna watch it. It's on Max. It's a Max original, HBO. It used to be HBO Max, but now it's called Max. The reason why I'm really interested in it now is it's been breaking news. Do you guys know who Selena Gomez is? I like my Selena Gomez. I saw her documentary. I forgot. I think it's on Amazon. It's great. Y'all should check that out, about her ups and downs, her anxiety, her life, being a child star to being what she is now, the breakups, Justin Bieber, and she dated who? The Weeknd back in 2017, bitch. So she used to get in. When she did that movie, Spring Breakers, she was fucking with Gucci Mane. She was getting the black dick. And then she was fucking with Weeknd. So they were inseparable for a while. And basically what she's saying is she's upset. She's like with the Weeknd because she feels that he did this story based on her life. There's a lot of similarities between Miss Selena and the girl in this movie or the show, the Lily Rose Depp character, because she was a child star. Selena was a child star. When she got older, she had a lot of anxiety issues. This girl has, I guess in the show, has anxiety issues. I guess Selena Gomez canceled a whole ass tour because of her problems. So did Lily Rose Depp in the show, canceled a tour because of all her problems. She makes a comeback, Selena Gomez, and she has this video with her rolling around in the bed. Lily Rose Depp makes a comeback, makes a video, rolling all in a bed. So there's a lot of similarities to this. There's like 10 little things that people were saying, like on Twitter, and there's a whole write-up about all the similarities between her and Miss Lily Rose Depp's character in The Idol. And she doesn't like it because she feels like he's using her ups and downs, her hurt, things that's been going on backstage, and using that on a show, and it's about her, because he was obsessed with her, and maybe he still is. Like, he wants that Selena Gomez, you know. I like her too, she's great. But the Weeknd boy, is that what you're doing? But anyways, I ain't seen it. Have y'all seen it? Have y'all seen the similarities? If y'all familiar with Miss Selena Gomez, let me know. But I'm gonna check it out, and when I come back in a future episode, we're gonna talk about it. All right, guys, so this past weekend, before I get back into these movies, I know I keep jumping around, but I was in Concord. My sister's birthday just passed. Happy birthday to my sister. And we went to Benihana, we went to go have dinner, we had some drinks and all this good stuff. And then while I was in Concord, here in the Bay Area, I went to the mall across the way, so the bitch, let's see what they got. And I ran into an FYE, y'all. Could y'all believe it? Well, if y'all in this area know, there used to be a lot of FYEs and they all closed down, bitch. And I used to love FYE. I used to go there to get hella cool Blu-rays, DVDs, used stuff. They had t-shirts, collectibles, CDs, all this kind of stuff. I used to, you know, it's a physical media collector's dream in there. And you got discounts, and you have like, it was great. So I go in, I was all excited, right? I walk in, this little bin of this buy two, get one free of these Blu-rays and DVDs. And this little bin, all they had was fucking Forgetting Sarah Marshall. How many Twilights do you have to own? The Hunger Games, like bullshit. Transformers 1, bitch, nobody want this. That's why they're still sitting there. I was like, okay, cool, where's the rest of the movies? I turn around. You see anime section here, you got Sailor Moon, you got Pokemon, you got fucking a horror section, which is amazing. And then you got all this toys and shit. And I'm looking around like, what the fuck happened to FYE? For your entertainment turned to a toy store, bitch. This is Toys R Us. This ain't FYE. Not the one that I remember. There's no DVDs or Blu-rays, which is that one little small box. I was shocked. Do y'all have FYEs? Did they just have a box of movies? That's it. There's no exclusive steelbooks. Because FYE be having steelbooks, exclusive shit. But they didn't have none at this one. I was so shocked. And it was a big FYE. It was all toys. I guess physical media, y'all gonna have to order shit now because ain't nobody carrying shit. Target today, I went in just to see what all the releases, the Blu-rays, the Scream 6 editions. Nope, nothing. There was nothing out on the shelf. I didn't want to ask because everyone looked like they didn't want to be bothered. It's weird. Like, what is happening? I don't know. We're gonna get into some movies. And I could kind of relate to this girl because this movie is called The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. So this movie was pretty solid. So this movie's about a girl. She's growing up like in the ghetto or whatnot. She's had a rough start. When she was a little girl, her mama died, right? And then her brother gets shot and killed. So she lost her mama, her brother, her daddy's depressed. He borderline about to die too. So it opens up like that, and she's just, growing up in all this death around her. And she's extremely smart. As she gets older, all her friends call her the mad scientist, right? Her name is Vicaria. And I hope I said this right, because I don't want her coming for me. Because in school, when she was in class, she had this white teacher. There's a lot of themes too in this. They throw that in your face. But yeah, there's this teacher. She's just very rude to her. She called her Vicaria. And she's like, my name is Vicaria. And then she's like, well, the teacher, she's like, well, I'll just call you Vicky because it's easier. Oh, I almost gay-gassed, bitch. Well, I did. Bitch, that's rude. You a teacher. And then Miss Vicaria was like, oh, well, I guess I'll call you Miss Bitch since I can call you whatever I want since it's easier. And I was living. I was clapping. I was so happy for Miss Vicaria. Girl, that teacher was a bitch. And then that teacher put her in detention. I was hella mad. Like, girl, you was rude to call her Vicky. That's not what she wanted to be called. Get the name right, ho. Ain't you a teacher? Learn. So basically this whole movie, she feels that death is a disease, y'all. A disease, like could be cured. Because she feels all this other shit could be cured. All these people get sick and they come back, right? So she is taking body parts from dead people and all this stuff and her brother, and she's putting them back together. She's super smart. She writes notes. She thinks of stuff, and she's trying to bring him back. It's very Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but it's an urban, retelling, a more modern take. It was cool. She brought her brother back to life, and there's this group. The family was cool, but there's this group, this gang type of thing. They got the girls to beat up the girls, then you got the dudes that want to shoot people up. And why everybody got machetes? Like everybody in this movie got machetes. You got all the people on the street got machetes. People in the gang got machetes. People got machetes in their closet. This is what they use in this movie, machetes. Yeah, so basically this whole movie is about him coming to life and her trying to keep him secret because he off the handles. Like he supports her, he got her back, but if people try to come for her, he gonna kill you. So let me tell you, I thought the kills would be a little bit more brutal. They're kind of tame for what I would have thought. A lot of head bashing on the floor. But he's like a kid. He's brought back to life. He don't know what he's doing. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of machete stuff. A lot of slicing of the necks because of the machetes. The movie was cool. It was pretty solid for what it was. I enjoyed it. I felt like it was slightly a little bit longer than what I anticipated. And then the ending, it was pretty solid. I'm not gonna spoil this, but y'all check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. I think it might be on Shudder as well. Check that out. But The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. All right, guys, next up, I watched a series that I binged. It's fucking 8 episodes, and it was 8 episodes of greatness. It was like a comedy, horror, thriller, drama type of thing, and it's called The Horrors of Dolores Roach. I ain't never heard of Dolores Roach, and she got a weird-ass name. This show came from a podcast. There's a podcast about these people telling the story of Miss Dolores Roach. And it lasted 2 seasons, and then it became a stage play, and then it became a TV show on Amazon Prime, so check it out. So this show is great. So it opens up with this girl on a play, and basically doing a play about this girl who used to crack necks and kill people, basically trying to make ends meet. She had a rough life, and she used to do this massage thing. Anyway, she would kill people. She was like a serial killer. But it opens up with that, and it's like a whole big stage play. Everyone's just loving it. And then the girl who plays Miss Dolores Roach, she's in her dressing room, and the real Dolores pops out. And she's like, you got it all wrong. I'm not as sadistic as y'all think. And she tells her story over the course of these 8 episodes. So it's about her. Basically, she had it hell. Like, she was dating this dude, right? And this guy, he's like in a gang. They sold drugs together. She was in love. She loved this man, Dominic, with all her heart. He set the bitch up and put her in jail, but she's, a loyal ass hoe. She didn't tell nothing. She didn't tell nobody where he was. So she did 16 years in jail for this man. The dick must have been really good because I couldn't do it. Anyway, so she did all this time in jail for him. Then she gets out. 16 years later, she goes back to the town where she was living, back to the apartment they had, and he gone. They don't know where he at. It's a whole new thing. Everything is remodeled. Everything is gentrified, if I said that right. And basically, this new couple that lived there. She ends up at this empanada place. So the empanada place is where she grew up. She's like eating her fucking empanadas. They have fucking weird cheese and guava empanadas. That sounds disgusting, right? We're gonna get into it. So she goes there, and she meets this guy named Luis, I believe his name was, and he's the butcher. And he was a little child when she was like 16 years ago. So he used to look up to her, and he used to have a huge crush on her. He owns it now. He makes all the empanadas. So he tells her, oh, you can live here, because under the little place is a basement where he sleeps. So he lets her stay there. And then in jail with her girlfriend, she had this girl named Tabitha who used to eat her coochie. But yeah, she taught her how to use her hands to kill and to massage. So they call her magic hands in the prison cells and shit. So anyway, she uses that to her advantage to make money, bitch. So she starts getting people to come over, and she starts massaging them. But bitch, if you get on her bad side, it ain't looking pretty because she gonna kill you. But it's not intentional. She had a rough time. You gotta watch it. I don't want to spoil too much of this, but this shit is good. I'm gonna spoil a little bit. So we're gonna spoil this if y'all don't want to know. Anyway, so it goes into it. Once she kills these people, Luis comes and he chops up their bodies and he puts it in the empanadas, bitch. So it's a lot of mischief because she starts killing people that she shouldn't be killing. People gonna be looking for these people. And mind you, when she first went to the empanada shop, it was empty. Once you start putting people in his empanadas and putting samples outside and bringing people into the store, they were loving eating people. They're all carnivorous. What do you call it? Carnivorous. Carnivores. Whatever. Anyways, they eat people. And it's gross, disgusting. I thought the cheese and guava was gross, but bitch, eating people is worse. You wanna eat people? He's talking about, oh, it's just like eating animals. It's all mammals, I guess. I don't know, but he's weird. He's goofy as fuck. He's off the rails, he's off the handles, and he don't got a dick. His dick got cut off, bitch, it's burnt. You'll see, it's gross. Like, and that's why when they was fucking, he went down on her, spoiler alert, and he started eating her pussy. Like, she was used to this. She was like, oh yeah, I had this in prison for 16 years. I want some dick. She kept trying to like feel for it and say, put it in me. But he's like, oh no, and he fakes it. He comes, I don't know where he came from, his balls, is it just balls there? But he came on her thigh, and let me tell you, it was gross. He licked it off of her. He licked it off. She was so disgusted herself. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Anyways, the show is great. Watch it, it's funny. I was rooting for Miss Dolores Roach. And I hope they do a season 2 because when I was doing some research, the fucking podcast, there's a season 2 about what happens after the ending of season 1, which is kind of cool. But I want to see. I liked it. I binged it. It was very quick. It's like 20-minute episodes, 8 episodes. Take 3.5 hours of your life and just watch it. It's great. All these movies nowadays are 3.5 hours, so you'll be right at home. All right, y'all. Next up, I want to talk about another movie, and this movie is called Pollen. This movie's kind of slow, so let me tell y'all. It started off great. It's not bad though. I actually really like this movie and the themes of this movie. There's a lot you could dissect here, but I'm not good at my words when I try to dissect shit, so I'm just gonna try my best. So this movie's about this girl, very dainty girl, very Carrie-esque from the Carrie movie. She's a great actress too. She plays this dainty-ass role very well. And basically, she's at work, she has her dream job, she's trying to be this head honcho, and she's so timid. So she has this girl there talking about, oh, when are you gonna ask Zach out? He's been looking at you and all this stuff. She's like, you should go sleep with him. And she's like, oh no, I can't do that. Zach comes in, he asked her out on a date. All right, so she go on a date with Zach, and they had a great time. They go have dinner. He bought her a plant, like a little plant, not even flowers, like a plant. And he gave it to her like in a pot. So she kept it. She was so excited. She felt loved, she felt seen. Dream job, got the hot guy at the office, and she's excited. They get back home, and he is expecting to come in to get him some. So when they get to the door, she's like, all right, well, thank you, I had a great time. They have a little kiss, and he's like, all right, you gonna let me in? And she's like, oh, no, I don't think so. Like, basically, she's timid. And he's like, no, you gonna let me in. And she's like, oh, no. Like, she didn't wanna go in, but she had her plant. She held her plant tight because she loved her plant. And he's like, I didn't drive 45 minutes to not get none. Oh, it took a turn, bitch. Is that supposed to get her wet? He is like, come on, just let me in. And then this man starts turning the knob to go in the house. And then they go in the house, and you hear him humping on her. And then she laying there in bed with the little towel up because she felt disgusted. So, but then she smirks because she looks at the plant, bitch. He leaves, and he had a condom on the floor, bitch. Because I guess he took the condom off, it's on the floor. Anyway, so she goes to work the next day, and she's like, oh, well, maybe he likes me now because he fucked me. So she goes, and even though she didn't want to do it, but she has her plant, she brings her plant everywhere she goes. There's this like weird pollen on it, right? And mind you, since she got this plant, she starts seeing this weird ass tree monster in her dreams. And she has blackouts, bitch. This is so good. So when she goes to work, and she's trying to talk to Mr. Zach, he disregards her. And the coworkers are some shitty ass people, the dudes and the girls. Y'all some fucked up. It's like Carrie. Like, they kill these bitches. They like, oh, I heard you went out with Zach tonight. People threw the talking jokes instead about, oh, how was the sex and all this stuff. And she was looking like, what the fuck? How do people know? And one guy gave her a fucking pregnancy test. I was like, what the fuck? Y'all is some shady bitches. And then Zach comes, he's like, oh, are you gonna take that? He was like, and she was like, oh, we used the condom. He's like, nope, I took it off. He took the condom off, so he came inside the bitch. She took loads. Listen to an episode of Overlook Hour, he talks about some loads. Russell talks about some loads. Watch it, it's good. We're gonna get into it. All right, so there's a load inside her. She might be pregnant, right? So he told her to take the test. She's like, no. He was like, you better. He was threatening her after he done basically, R-worded her. So basically, she's like, I want to keep the baby because she's in love with him now that she had the sex. So basically, he was threatening her. It's like, oh, you're going to lose your job if you don't get rid of this baby. So it's crazy, right? So she goes on about her life. Weird things start happening at home with this little fucking plant. And she names her plant Grace. So every day that she goes to work, she tries to dress nice for Zach. She has these nicer dresses and stuff. She tries to get his attention, but he ain't paying her no mind. Her sister is kind of a bitch too. Her sister, she calls her, the main girl, her name's Hera, by the way, Hera. So basically she has a sister who has a daughter who, the sister always calls her to babysit because the sister, she's a cochina. She goes to go fuck. Like she goes on all these random ass dates with men and she calls her to watch her kid. And sometimes Hera be like, I don't want to do that. But she'll pop up with the baby. It's like, you ain't got nothing to do. What do you do with your life? So she brought the daughter over and she had to babysit one night. So she went on a blind date and when she comes back, Hera opens the door. She's like, oh, how was your date? She's like, it was great. She was like, I'm not interested. I won't see him again. She was like, I told him that too. She said, but I gave him a hand job and sucked him off and it was fun. Oh my God, you a cochina bitch. She was like, gross. Is girls y'all be like that? Okay, get it. She got the dick. Or didn't. She just got the load in her mouth. And then she let him go. She just told him, you know what? So he was living large and in charge. He could have seen this bitch again. You gave him what he wanted. And you weird looking, bitch. You ugly. Australia. I think it's Australian or something. I don't know. Anyway, so you get her, the daughter. She tries to pick up her daughter outside. So this pollen little plant thing, she outside with a mask. She put on some trees on her face and she stood like she was on a cross, like she the tree man. And then Miss Hare was like, oh my God, bitch, why are you doing this? And the little girl talked back to her. And I was like, oh my God, these white people. Anyway, so they leave. And then now after this, she starts sneezing. She spits up snot. It's nasty. Pollen snot. And then if someone messes with Grace, like the sister was like, oh, why do you always carry this plant around? She's like, it's my Grace. Zach gave it to me. She's obsessed. So Zach's still not showing her any love or nothing. So he's in a board meeting and she goes in. She's just rambunctious. She just barged the door. I need to talk to Zach. I called him Jack. Zach. And he's like, no, whatever you got to say to me, you can say in front of everybody. So she's trying to embarrass her in front of all his little homie boys. Yeah, she didn't do that. She ran out crying. This is a very timid girl. But I'm not gonna spoil the ending. But basically, he's shitty to her. Everyone's shitty to her sister. She's a lonely life, and something happens to her plant. And I remember one coworker that was teasing her about fucking this man. She stabs her with a pen because the bitch tried to fuck up her plant because that plant is everything to her. And there's a whole twist to it, but this fucking tree man, was that real? Was this something that she was reflecting? Was this something that was already in her? Is she a Carrie? Who knows? But the movie was pretty solid. I like the themes that it was playing about a woman having to deal with these type of things at a hostile work environment, a type of date R type of thing. And I don't know. I liked it. And check it out. It's called Pollen. I know I'm running about a lot of movies now, but we're going to get into one more movie because it is Terrell's Tubi time. All right, let's get into it. All right, guys. So the next movie I want to talk about from Tubi is called The Deep Web Murder Show. And what gravitated me towards this film, it is a Tubi original, so I try to watch one of those a week to reference here on the show. And this one had a cool cover. It's a cool ass, scary ass mask. And there's a second cover with a videotape, like someone's recording, and a little figure standing in the back. So it looked like found footage. So bitch, I was all in. So I turned it on. It's not found footage. So I was instantly sad and disappointed. This movie's been done before numerous times. But it's about this fucking show, almost on the deep web, the black web. I wouldn't want to deal with nobody in the black web, deep web, nothing like that. So basically, it opens up with that. So people pay to see people get killed and chopped the fuck up, like that. Again, I feel like I already talked about this because there's a lot of movies like this. All right, so this movie opens up with that. So it's about a girl with her friend, and she's I guess she's famous on Instagram and all this stuff, and she plays pranks. They play pranks on each other. These two girls play pranks. They try to scare each other. So one girl thought this was a joke by entering the deep web and all this. So she did that with this girl, and the deep web is after her. So they're stalking her, and they end up kidnapping her. So then it shows all these people paying, and in the chat on the side, oh, cut her head off, slit her wrist, chop her in half, all this shit. So basically, they do that. There's a lot of chainsaws in this movie, and then she gets her ass handed to her, literally. And then it goes to the Ethan, the worst guy in this movie. This boy, I don't forgot his actor's name, but he was in Riverdale. He can't act a lick, bitch. I can act better than him. He can't act. He's supposed to get paid to act. It's awful, but it's Tubi. So he was fake crying because it was his funeral. It felt so fake. He's like, oh, he was crying. It was so bad. Bitch, this is awkward. I don't feel like this is genuine to me. Bitch, you you lost somebody. And you weren't even crying. Was it an inner cry? There was no tears. Anyways, you're weird. So the two friends, the girls that were good friends of his sister, he was crying to them because he lost his sister. He's a big time podcaster. So he talks about true crime, he talks about all this stuff. So he digs and he searches. So they want to know what happened to the sister, but nobody can help. The cops ain't helping. So he's like, I'm gonna do this on my own. So he digs and digs and digs, and bitch, if you dig in the deep web, they're gonna come get you. This movie also has the dude from Freddy vs. Jason. Forgot his name. He was the one that was the brother that had the hypno-seal, the one that died in the bathtub with the shit gut came out when Freddy Krueger got his ass. Anyways, he's Freddy vs. Jason, and he plays like a hacker in this one. He's like a big-time hacker, and he can hack into anything and get you guys anything. But bitch, he hacked too far because bitch, he got his ass handed to him as well. So basically, this is a group, like a cult group, of these people with these crazy fucked up masks, very much like the Purge type of looking masks, and they're anybody. Like there's like twists at the end, people that you may have seen throughout this movie. Even cops are involved, bitch. I spoiled that. But anyways, this movie's stupid. So basically, the two friends are with a girl, they get kidnapped, and then Ethan tries to go save the day with his no acting ass. This movie's stupid. It's kind of boring. But when it gets to the end where they're all fighting back and shit, that was kind of good because there was some cool chase scenes, there was some cool fight backs, there was some cool weapons used, some cool kills, which I did like. And I was like, oh wow, you guys are doing your thing with this. This is a cool little ending to this movie. But I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. It's we've seen this numerous times, or I have, but if you haven't, check it out, it's on Tubi. I wouldn't log into it, I wouldn't put my life. You gotta be careful what you go through on the internet. Like Threads came out. Did y'all download Threads? I sure did, and I've been stuck. It's just like Twitter. I don't know why it's so different. I don't know. I'm never on Twitter. But Threads has been great. So I don't know. Hopefully that's on the black web. I did read if you delete Threads, you delete Instagram, and bitch, that's awful. I love my Instagram. So Threads gonna have to sit there. But yeah, so if y'all watch the Tubi movie, let me know. If y'all have any Tubi recommendations, tell me. Shout out to the horror show. Girl, you reached out to me, you watched the Stepmother movies. I'm glad you like them. Those movies are solid. I love all three of them. So I know I rambled a lot, y'all. I talked about a lot of movies. If y'all got some movie recommendations you want me to review, let me know. But yeah, I'm excited. This week we have Mission Impossible coming to theaters. Next week, everybody's talking about Barbie and the Oppenheimer, whatever the fuck you say. How do you call it? And they merged them because they come out the same day. They call it Barbenheimer. I don't know. But that movie looked boring as hell. It's probably a 4-hour movie. But Barbie, I want to see, bitch. That should look funny. But yeah, y'all gonna watch that next week? Let me know. But all right. Episode 90, y'all. In the books. Scream 6. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.